Donald Trump was threatened with expulsion from his Manhattan civil trial Wednesday after he repeatedly ignored a warning to keep quiet while writer 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐄 Carroll testified that he shattered her reputation after she accused him of sexual abuse. Judge Louis A. Kaplan told the former president that his right to be present at the trial will be revoked if he remains disruptive. After an initial warning, Carroll's lawyer said Trump could still be heard making remarks to his lawyers, including, "It is a witch hunt, and it really is a con job. Mr. Trump, I hope I don't have to consider excluding you from the trial," Kaplan said in an exchange after the jury was excused for lunch, adding, "I understand you're probably very eager for me to do that. I would love it," the Republican presidential frontrunner shot back, shrugging as he sat between lawyers Alina Habba and Michael Medallo at the defense table. "I know you would. You just can't control yourself in these circumstances, apparently," Kaplan responded. "You can't either," Trump muttered. Afterward, Trump ripped the judge in brief remarks to reporters at an office building he owns near the courthouse. He called the Bill Clinton appointee a nasty judge and a Trump-hating guy, echoing his own social media posts that Kaplan was seething and hostile, and abusive, rude, and obviously not impartial. Trump has made similar comments about the judge in another case, a state of New York lawsuit accusing him of inflating his property values to get better rates on insurance and loans. On Wednesday, Judge Kaplan denied a request from Trump's lawyers that he step aside from the case involving Carroll, a longtime Elle magazine advice columnist. Kaplan cracked down after Carroll lawyer Sean Crowley complained for a second time that Trump could be heard loudly saying things throughout her testimony as he sat at the defense table, frequently tilting back and leaning over to speak with his lawyers. Crowley suggested that if Carroll's lawyers could hear Trump from where they were sitting, about 12 feet 3.7 meters from him, jurors might have been able to hear him, too. Some appeared to split their focus between Trump and the witness stand. "I'm just going to ask that Mr. Trump take special care to keep his voice down when conferring with counsel to make sure the jury does not hear it," Kaplan said before jurors returned to the courtroom after a morning break. Earlier, without the jury in the courtroom, Trump could be seen slamming his hand on the defense table and uttering the word, "man," when the judge again refused his lawyer's request that the trial be suspended on Thursday, so he could attend his mother-in-law's funeral in Florida. Trump, fresh from a win Monday in the Iowa caucuses, has made his various legal fights part of his campaign. He sat in on jury selection Tuesday, then jetted to a New Hampshire rally before returning to court Wednesday, and repeating the cycle with another Granite State event Wednesday night. Carroll was the first witness in a Manhattan federal court trial to determine damages, if any, that Trump owes her for remarks he made while he was president in June 2019, as he vehemently denied ever attacking her or knowing her. A jury last year already found that Trump sexually abused her and defamed her in a round of denials in October 2022. Carroll's testimony was somewhat of a tightrope walk, because of limitations the judge has posed on the trial in light of the previous verdict and prior rulings he's made restricting the infusion of political talk. Habba lobbed multiple objections seeking to prevent the jury from hearing details of Carroll's allegations. "I'm here because Donald Trump assaulted me, and when I wrote about it, he said it never happened. He lied and he shattered my reputation," Carroll testified. "He has continued to lie. He lied last month. He lied on Sunday. He lied yesterday. And I am here to get my reputation back, and to stop him from telling lies about me," Carroll said. Once a respected columnist, Carroll lamented, "Now, I'm known as the liar, the fraud and the whack job." She became emotional as she read through some of hundreds of hateful messages she's received from strangers, apologizing at one point to the jury for reading the nasty language aloud. Carroll said Trump's smears ended the world she knew, costing her millions of readers and her Ask Gene advice column, which ran in Elle for more than 25 years. The magazine has said her contract ended for unrelated reasons. Carroll said her worries about her personal safety after a stream of death threats led her to buy bullets for a gun she inherited from her father. Install an electronic fence, warn her neighbors of threats, and unleash her pit bull to roam freely on the property of the small cabin in the mountains of upstate New York where she lives alone. She also brought security along for the trial this week and last May, and said she'd thought often about hiring security more often to accompany her. "Why don't you?" her attorney, Roberta Kaplan, no relation to the judge, asked. "Can't afford it," Carroll answered. She took the stand after a hostile encounter between Haber and the judge, culminating in Trump's desk slam, over his refusal to adjourn the trial on Thursday, so Trump could attend the funeral for former First Lady Melania Trump's mother, Amalia Narves, who died last week. Haber called Judge Kaplan's ruling insanely prejudicial, and the judge soon afterward cut her off, saying he would hear no further argument on it. Haber told the judge, "I don't like to be spoken to that way, Your Honor." When she mentioned the funeral again, the judge responded, "It's denied. Sit down." Carroll's testimony came 9 months after she was in the same chair convincing a jury in the hopes that Trump could be held accountable in a way that would stop him from frequent verbal attacks against her. Because the first jury found that Trump sexually abused Carroll in the 1990s and then defamed her in 2022, the new trial concerns only how much more, if anything, he'll be ordered to pay her for other remarks he made in 2019 while he was president. Carroll accused Trump of forcing himself on her in a luxury department store dressing room in 1996. Then, she alleges, he publicly impugned her honesty, her motives and even her sanity, after she told the story publicly in a 2019 memoir. Trump, 77, asserts that nothing ever happened between him and Carroll, 80, and that he never met her. He says a 1987 party photo of them and their then spouses doesn't count, because it was a momentary greeting. Trump did not attend the previous trial in the case last May, when a jury found he had sexually abused and defamed Carroll, and awarded her $5 million in damages. The jury said, however, that Carroll hadn't proven her claim that Trump raped her. Carroll is now seeking $10 million in compensatory damages, and millions more in punitive damages. The Associated Press typically does not name people who say they have been sexually assaulted unless they come forward publicly, as Carroll has done.